And welcome everybody
realized-
to the what?
No, go ahead.
This is difficult. I wouldn't be difficult if it wasn't an interruption or two. I am Lord Yeshua, your code host. Code host? Yep. And my name is Josh, and we got 4G's Colin over here, and we got Ryugami-san. His name is Paul, and this is his channel. And he likes video games, and we like video games, and that's why we're here.
We all like video games.
So we talk a little news, we talk a little shop, and we played a little game.
Dude,
so
maybe if Colin keeps
week?
interrupting, we make him do the intros.
What if
I
we
know.
brought
I
him
kinda was
on
a
who
little
didn't like
rusty
video
today.
games, you know?
Let him see how it feels.
We brought someone with the antithesis of our like premise here.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
like
someone
someone
who
who
just
was
hates
like,
video games. It's
completely
like, that's
doesn't
just
like
a
video
waste of
games.
time. That's the devil's play things, you know?
I would love that.
He's just a strong Christian man, I feel like.
Wait, what? How did we get here? I
We
missed
want someone
something.
who plays devil's advocate on the show as a guest.
Yeah,
thing.
that's it. Just like
For
a
fun.
funny devil's advocate.
Whoa, we're wacky.
We are wacky.
We
Who'd that be?
Who would that be? Your
Yeah,
dad?
we played video games this week. Let me talk about mine first because I feel
Well,
like you
I'll
guys are
put a
going to
bit.
talk about yours more. So
I do
I'll
like
just keep-
mine.
I'll just get through mine pretty quick. And we can go on. So this week I played Shining Force 2. I played that on stream. So last week I finished Shining Force 1 off stream, and I was itching to play the second one, so I did that on stream this week. It was actually my first weeknight stream that I've done in a really long time, so I'm trying to get back into the habit of that.
Nice.
So that was a lot of fun. Getting
Excellent.
back into it. I played not too long, about 2.5 hours, which is pretty much like through the intro. The intro is kind of long, and into like the next battle. But I've gotten basically to like where it becomes a little more free roaming. But that game's super awesome. I'll talk about it more probably as I progress through it on stream. But if
Yes.
you enjoy tactic style RPGs, but also like traditional JRPGs, this is the perfect
Oh my
blend
god,
of
you're speaking my
both.
language.
Dude, I'm telling you, you need to try these games. They're so
You are
good.
speaking my language.
So I played that, and then I also yesterday for Samurai Sundays, I busted out Neo again. It's been a really long time since I played that
Great game, I think.
It
I never
is.
played
So the way I would describe it is like Onimusha 4, which doesn't exist, but if there was an Onimusha 4, this would be it, plus Dark Souls mechanics.
Oof. Fire.
So it's fire. It's so
Absolute
good.
hot
It's
fire.
extremely hard. I played through the intro and like the first big level, and I got to like the first actual boss. There's kind of like a kind of intro boss in the very beginning of the game, but it's kind of a pushover. The first actual boss is hard as fuck, and I got my poo pushed in a couple of times by him, and then decided that I was gonna go ahead and grind off stream a little bit, and maybe we'll pick it up next week.
Yes.
But yeah, a lot of fun. Again, if you enjoy Souls likes, if you enjoy samurai style stuff, and especially like if you enjoyed like the old Onimusha games where they kind of blend like history with like horror fantasy stuff, then this is
I do
your
like
shit.
that.
And it's
Sounds fucking fire.
so good. It's so
Sounds amazing.
good.
That's all you played?
Are you
That's
playing the Dark Souls of Onimusha games that doesn't exist? Yeah, that's what I'm playing.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I played this week, guys. What'd you guys play?
Oh man, so much. Colin, you go first.
Okay.
No, well, we played a lot together also.
did
So I
play
think
a
we
lot
played like
together.
literally all the same games.
We played
again.
Mario 35.
So Mario 35 is gonna be the game I'm reviewing. So
Yeah, I
you
won't
wanna
talk about that much.
You
then.
can
That
say
was-
your experience on it, and then I'll review it later.
Okay, that was a really interesting and creative battle royale game. Let me just say that it's the most unique one I've seen so far. You know, there's been a lot of the
Mhm.
variations on it. You know, and it's probably the most unique one I've seen. That's pretty neat because, like, you know, I think a lot of times, not always, but like people that like platformers probably don't much enjoy like
I can
shooters
attest-
as often.
I
you
can
know?
attest to that. Yeah, it's not my comfort
And probably
zone.
vice versa, I would imagine.
I don't
It's
know if
probably-
either of you played it, but isn't it basically just the same concept as Tetris 99? Only
It's
with
similar.
Mario?
It is
Yes.
similar, but I'm not going to go into it too much now, but it's not nearly as complex. So I think
Okay.
it has an up in a way. It's
Yeah.
much more Fortnite-y in a
Also,
way
gameplay
that it's
styles
easier.
so like drastically different too.
Gameplay style, yeah. Let's not get into it too crazy, but yeah. I mean, we could just review it right now, I guess.
No.
And
And then I also
I want
played
to take a big bite out of it right now, though.
We'll get
Donkey
there.
Kong Country.
So
2.
this is the one we played together on my stream last night, and basically for anyone who has an online membership to the Switch, which renews automatically. Mine just renewed, and it was nice and easy. Like $20 a year is the cheapest membership on any gaming platform right now, aside from I guess Steam. And they released all this cool stuff. They literally just released Donkey Kong Country 2 3 days ago, and that's one of my favorite games. And I haven't like owned it on a console since the Super Nintendo, which I still have, but for the old school people, this is like huge to get a lot of these amazing platformers and games back on. So we played that, and I think it handles so well with the joystick. All right, 4G's your turn. Controllers are just so much nicer for me. I don't have much else to say as far as.
I don't know. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I can see like a lot of the stuff.
He never played this game before.
Yeah, I hadn't.
Which is crazy to me because it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's good. It's I mean, if I had played it a long time ago, I don't really remember it, but it felt really good, especially like seeing kind of a different perspective than Josh. It was like, oh, I get what they were going for. It's not quite polished like maybe this game is, but like I can definitely feel like what they were trying to accomplish with this. They really pushed the boundaries of 2D platformers to a pretty high extreme
in 1995.
And I bet a lot of games took inspiration from this, because it was so solidly built and creative. So just the way they can change mechanics on you between creatures is really neat. And like there were some like ones I didn't like as much, like the balloon one I didn't like, but that was still just an interesting and creative way to change the way that you approach the world around you, basically. So yeah, I thought it was really neat. I really enjoyed it.
In my opinion, this game I could talk about for centuries. It's one of my favorite platformers, but it's, in my opinion, I kind of told Colin a little bit of this when it started becoming like the Odyssey 2 of platforming, where like Donkey Kong Country, Super Mario World, and all these other platformers really pushed the envelopes in certain ways, and each level had its own somewhat mechanics. But in Donkey Kong Country 2, I really feel like each level has its like progressive mechanics that you kind of like hold true to each level. And it kind of started this trend where like, instead of just being a similar throughout, like in Donkey Kong Country 1, where it's just like kind of similar throughout, there's actually like true themes in these platformers, and platforming started to become more intense, and like Sonic started to go harder. Mario started to go harder after that. And a lot of things just, I don't know. It kind of just
Sonic is not a good platformer to me.
I don't understand really how it works. So I don't know
anyone.
So time out. You don't think Sonic is a good platformer?
I don't really understand how the mechanics
are
a
good platformer, but it's a good whatever it is. Like Sonic 3 is a lot of fun, but I don't think it's a good platformer.
Really?
Because it's like gotta go fast, but like it punishes you for going fast.
It does.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Here's the issue with Sonic is I don't know how to do it seamlessly without like getting hurt and stopping, and the stopping being very punishing.
Yeah.
You lose all your rings. But in Mario, you can see all these obstacles coming, and you're like, okay, boing, boing, and you can still get the momentum and everything, and even Donkey Kong, whatever. Sonic, you're like, okay, this is insane. But like, unless you're a pro, I guess, you can't like.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't ever go fast.
I kind of agree with you guys on that, but like, I mean, as someone who's played Sonic games very casually growing up, like it's always something that I really enjoyed. In fact, when I was younger, I enjoyed Sonic games more than I enjoyed Mario games. I see your point for sure, because there's certainly aspects of it that you could say are punish you for going fast, but that also boils down to like learning the mechanics of Sonic and knowing the stages, which
that's fair.
So like I can kind of see both sides of that argument. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a bad platformer, but certainly it's not as polished or even really designed to be as much of a platformer, more of like a speedrunning game.
It's more like a roller coaster simulation almost, rather than so for me, like Mario, the whole what was I gonna say? I don't even fucking know. Just keep going. No, I was just gonna say like It's just different, like where you can see everything coming. It's just like a little more progressive, and like Sonic, it's just not the same type of game. I feel like it is kind of hard to compare the two.
Sure, for sure.
I don't know.
For
Pistachio.
sure. Did you guys play anything else?
A lot of Mario 3D World
I did.
or whatever it's called.
We
3D
know what
All-Stars.
you're talking about.
Sorry.
3D All Stars, yeah.
Well, I don't understand what you're trying to say.
Super Mario 3D All Stars. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Played a
I
lot
played
of
that
that.
a little bit actually too.
Colin, what's this game you've been playing that you're like super ecstatic about? I want to hear more about this because I know Dutchie's real into it and all that business.
I'll buy you both the game if you play with me tonight. It's such a fun game.
I can't
It's-
play tonight.
It's
but
such a fun game. Like,
I'm
you
not
ever
really
watch
into
the
horror games? But go on.
No,
I'm
you know
listening.
what? I don't
I'm
always
listening.
like horror games either. So like, I get that. This is a horror. This is the horror game for people that don't like horror games.
I've been told
have-
that before.
Have
but
you?
continue.
Well, no.
It's like getting Mario
cooperative.
Party if
It's
you don't like Mario
cooperative. You
games.
work with your friends. So it's the first game I've ever played that's cooperative. That still scares me.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
So that's pretty impressive to begin with. But it is.
You're not selling it for me.
Have you ever seen Ghost Hunters, the show? I think it's what it's called. Or
yeah. Like with like the super broy guy that like tries
Yes.
to fight ghosts.
Yes. Yeah, they're all like bros and they're all like
Yeah.
basically go in there and have like these like ghost boxes and like cameras and it's exactly that.
EMF readers and stuff.
Yes, they have EMF readers in this game. They have all that stuff. And you go in and you basically talk to these ghosts because it uses voice recognition. So the ghost can understand you and respond to questions from you.
It's badass.
So you go in and you go,
That's
you know,
spooky.
how old are you? And it goes, and you're listening to the ghost box and it goes, adult. And it's like, oh. And you go, you know, how
What are
close
you
are you?
wearing?
Well, I went like, how close are you? Or it was like, where are you? And it goes, here. And I was like, no. And the lights started to flicker all around me, basically.
Scary.
And then you're
And
like,
it-
what are you
well-
wearing? And it's like,
Nothing.
Nothing.
nothing. And you're like,
And
yeah,
it also
ASL.
uses ASMR too as well. So like you have like directional audio. So you don't you also have walkie-talkies as well.
Do you like
you
it
have two
when I
different
talk
ways-
to you in this deep voice?
No.
Okay. I was just trying to turn the game into
Oh.
You know what?
Like
This
a
is all the stuff-
900
This is all the stuff you actually do, though. That's like
Okay.
I'm saying. Like you get immersed in it. You basically have to ask the ghost questions to get it to provoke a response,
Uh-huh.
basically.
yeah.
So it's actually, I don't. It's it's one of the most creative like horror games I've seen in a while. That's also cooperative. It's managed to accomplish a lot of things being a cooperative game and a horror game. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun though. I've really enjoyed it.
Does what's his name from To Catch a Predator ever pop out and be like, what are you doing with that
Hey.
bag full of dildos?
Oh, he's talking about bro. Never mind.
Chris,
Wait,
Chris
who?
Hansen? Chris
Oh,
Hansen.
Chris Hansen. No.
Isn't that
Not
Derek
that.
comedy?
Yeah, that was a dude, my jokes are not landing tonight. Let's move
No.
on.
I got it.
It's just like, that's funny, Paul. You're funny.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that game sounds dope.
Yeah, it is. It's really fun. I'm surprised how much I enjoyed it actually.
Sounds hot.
Oh, sounds very hot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, my wife's here. What's up, wife?
Hey, his wife.
What's that? The internet is, reset that router downstairs.
Want to reset you?
Just unplug it and plug it back in.
Wait, won't that reset you?
No, that won't reset me.
You're on different internets.
It's behind the TV.
How are
Why,
you?
two
Why do you
routers?
have two different internet providers?
I don't, but I have a secondary router because the Google Fiber router is anus.
Oh,
And
nice.
so I put a secondary router downstairs so that the rest of the house could get.
Routers?
Yes, I do.
Colin's like, how's this possible? He's doing computing it in his head.
Work though, but you also have the other one running. At
He's
the same
doing it
time.
right now. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm doing it right now.
It doesn't interfere with the Wi-Fi or anything, like with both of them being up, or do you just you're running a cable from there?
I use a cable for as many things as I possibly can. But
okay.
like and we don't have anything running off of or I highly recommend not connecting to the Wi-Fi from the Google router because
Right,
it's complete
horrible,
anus.
right? Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, it's terrible. So yeah. Anyhow. That is what's up, boys and girls.
What's up?
Cool. You guys played some neat games this week, and so did I.
Good games, yes.
Yeah.
Let's get into that review. Let me get the
Let's do
gameplay up in the background.
me
This
get
is
the review
actually from
going.
your stream. Let me mute that.
Oh my god, I love this. This is amazing.
Do, do,
Very
do.
good stream.
Oh, I hit the button, but it didn't go. Come on. Well, I'll do it manually. Hold on. My background gameplay is not switching for some reason. There we go. Boom. We got it up. All right. So let's hear the review. What game are we reviewing?
What game did I play? Just kidding. This week we are going to be reviewing Super Mario Brothers 35. So this is literally the battle royale Nintendo has decided to now make in response to all the other battle royales floating around out there, and it hits spot on. I just got to start with that. This game does exactly what it tries to accomplish, and Nintendo knows its crowd. I don't even know how more to say it. Let's get into it, though. Let's see. Okay, so developers, of course, Nintendo. It released, I want to say it released a few days ago. So this is not even a week old at this rate on the Switch. That's the thing. This is, not only did it just release, but just to give you a heads up, this is a limited release. So this game, and real quick on the price tag, just get it, because this is a free game. So not only did it just release, not only is it free and fully updated, but this is also a temporary launch going along with the Year of Mario. We're only getting this until March 31st, along with when Super Mario Bros. All-Star or Super Mario All-Stars is stopped selling. You know what I mean?
There's a caveat to the free thing. It's free if you're a Nintendo Switch Online.
It's my apologies.
Member.
My apologies. Yeah. It's free if you're a Nintendo Switch Online member, which if you have a Switch, you pretty much are at this rate. And if you are getting this game for free, you're also getting Tetris 99. You're also getting the NES and the Super NES store and a ton of other games that are basically free or free to play in some way. I think getting the online Switch membership on a sidebar is alone totally worth $20 a year. Absolutely the best membership for any of the gaming companies right now. It's awesome. So if you have a Switch, this is a no-brainer. This is a free game until March. So I know it's kind of shitty that this is only until March. I wonder if they're going to see if it's, to me, this is like looking for the best Mario player. Actually, real quick, it's like almost like a test. They're like, let's see who the best Mario player is playing the old school Mario games. And we're only going to put our feelers out there for a year. And then we're going to, I don't know. That's like my fantasy though, of course, talking. But in reality, I think it's to see if this kind of game will work. And although Tetris 99 is still going strong a year now, about maybe a little longer than a year, this game is only promised a certain time frame. I think we might get a physical version. I think there might be a full game version, or it could again just be like, but I think it's getting a lot of feedback already kind of in my range where it's very positive, and pretty much everyone that has an online membership is downloading it. Okay. Free with an online subscription. What did I like about the game? Literally everything about this game is so fucking good. So if you like Mario, this is amazing because you've probably played the shit out of Super Mario Bros. For the NES or the Game Boy Advance or every console you've ever had, because it's been reprinted out the ass and remade and remastered and all that. New Super Mario Bros., whatever. So this is an amazing, basically remake that gives a huge twist that you're kind of playing against other people. And the only way you really do play against other people is that as you defeat enemies, get coins, and kind of like do things in the level, those things you do are kind of like transported to someone else's screen automatically. And in order to decide that, there's like a few options at the top, but it's not like Tetris 99 where you have to like figure out who you're attacking. It's literally like who's in first place, who has the most coins, like who's attacking you. So it's like the options are very cut and clear, where it's like I usually go for who's attacking me because they're probably doing well by killing a lot of bad guys.
So you can actually select who to attack?
Yeah, you change it with the right stick. So, and you can also, on top of that, the controls, you can choose from joystick to D-pad and use any type of controller with this. So it's really nice. But your right stick or right D-pad, whatever you're using, is going to be the select an opponent or whatever. And it just deciding in what fashion. Coins you now collect are every 20 coins you can use an item. It's basically like POW block, fucks up enemies, and killing a field of enemies is going to fuck up a ton of other players because you're going to be wiping all their boards at the same time by basically unloading a bunch of enemies onto other players at the same time. So that's a kind of a big thing. But the main goal is to, of course, just beat the game. And like the farther you get, the better you do. It's very attainable to win if you just like Mario. And this, again, is like a fresh take. So it's the same levels, but you're kind of like, this is awesome. It's a lot more challenging. There's just more enemies. It's not like cheating, but like I was running through the level at one point towards the end of it, and there was like Bowser shooting fire at me in a regular level. I was like, this is badass with like so many things to avoid. And it kind of ups the ante without being like Mario Maker status. So I thought that was really appreciative for like people that are trying to stay in the realm of actual Mario, but of course up the ante.
Is
And
it
there
the
are difficulty ranges as well for like when you level up, you increase your rank. So you can play 1-1, which is, I figured it out, Colin, 1-1. You choose that, and it's always going to be that rank category where it's low tier and you don't have a lot of points. You're not going to level up very much because, like, even if you win, because it's kind of the first level, and then you choose like level 1, 2, and so it doesn't start you on level 1, 2, but it's basically a difficulty range until you unlock all the levels, and then basically you're selecting like Bowser's level 8-8, and you're fighting like world champions. Basically, everyone's just like dominating all at the
So
same
the
time.
whole game of Mario 1 is in this, but
The entire game is in this
so
game.
here's a question. If you start out in 1-1 and you're like the winner and you keep winning, does it keep progressing like a Mario game does?
Yeah. So here's how it works. It's basically kind of a timer. The timer is really lenient, so I don't like use that as much, but it is Mario timered. And then it's basically last man standing style, but it's not like kill each other as much as you are just trying to beat the game. And the farther you get, the more able you are to defeat the opponents in certain ways, like enemies and like other things. You get more coins, more items. So you're able to like power block enemies more and like fuck up other opponents. There's other methods, but basically you do just play through the game and you continue and you continue. And every time you unlock a new level, actually, you unlock that difficulty in the game until you beat the entire game, which honestly, I don't even know like if that's possible, because it would have to be a bunch of pros. And I guess that is possible. People that would go the entire game without dying. Like, I bet there's like a bunch of people, like there's probably at least 35 people in a chat or in a group that are all like, you know, not dying and just like who can get to the end and beat Bowser the fastest. Can you imagine being on that level?
That'd be
And like
insane.
all these bad guys are coming at you because everyone's fucking each other up, and you're still like going hard as fuck and like not able to die. Because it's not like, again, it's not going to cheat you and be like, I can't believe I just died for no reason. He shot me with a fireball directly in the face. Like, no. It's just going to put bad guys on your screen, and you're going to see all of it coming, and it'll say incoming like on the bottom. It says like, it lets you know when you're being attacked and everything. So this is a really awesome game in a lot of ways. I just recommend playing it. Like, I didn't win one yet, but it seems like a very attainable game as to where a lot of other battle royales, if your goal is to play against this many other players, they're so difficult. And like Warzone is pretty accessible compared as far as a first person shooter is concerned, but still winning any of these is like crazy. So this is something for like a nerd like me who just loves platforming and loves old school gaming, and someone who doesn't want to get too intense can just play an awesome round of Mario that's super badass and literally not even think about it and just put my joystick on, hit my attacker every time, you know, don't even move it. Just let it go after whoever's attacking me, and I'll just play Mario. So it's just really Super Mario. Yeah, it's really, really amazing. I don't know. Yeah. And what else is there here? Let's see. What else didn't you like about the game? What didn't I like about the game? I wish it was co-op. I wish this was, and this is kind of pulling it out of my butt a little because I really liked a lot of things about the game, but I kind of wish it was team co-op and you can do Mario and Luigi on the same team and kind of like try and get through the level as best you can. And maybe even have like a bubble up method where like one person gets hurt and they bubble and pop, but it's like a race maybe in some way. I don't know. But
that's something that like I would see being a possibility too. Because like, I mean, think about every battle royale game that you play, you got squads. You know? So like, I'm not saying Nintendo's going to do this, but it's entirely possible.
And they've done Mario Maker. Mario Maker has shown us that there's literally no limitation to what they can do in a 2D Mario platformer as far as in any way. So like, there's nothing that they can't just be like, we couldn't put 4 people on the screen and be like, well, you are doing that. And you allow 4 people on the screen, cooperative or against each other for any level ever made by anyone in any game. You know what I mean? So there's no excuse to say you can't do that online for this very basic Mario Bros game. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it because it's basic, but it is definitely much more like, I feel like moddable or updatable. So if they decide to make this a permanent game, what I really want from this game is for them to make it a permanent game that has like seasons and shit. I would fucking love that. If they like turn this cool. Like Fortnite, like I would buy a season pass for this. Nintendo, I would buy a season pass for this if you kept this game going and added shit all the time, made it like completely amazing and kept updating it. Like this game has that potential in my opinion.
What if they like Mario 64 35?
I would love that. That's what I'm saying. They could do like one season is like Mario 64 and like one season is like Super Mario World. you know, like, and like everyone just like plays and then like it
That'd be
changes.
crazy.
That would
But
be
it's like,
rad. I don't ever see him doing that, but
I
that would be
know.
very cool.
And the whole point of this game is that it is a limited thing, but like even still, they could cycle through them. And I don't even know, after 3 years, they could release all of them. And you're like, cool, I can play. Now, I don't know. It's kind of hard to do this in a physical edition. So gameplay fun. Art is Mario. So you're not like missing anything on art. This is nothing game breaking for today's day and age. It, of course, is game breaking for 1980, whatever. But yeah, it looks like Mario Bros. So you're going to be happy if you enjoy that. I don't know what else to tell you because, like most people say, it looks like ass today. So it's definitely Mario Bros. Art, but it's a little more polished. So it's nice. Very nice. It handles very well and all that. Well, we'll get to that. Music is amazing. It's what you expect. It's a little enhanced as well. And there's amazing sound effects. It's getting into the sound design, really amazing. And then it's infinite length. So this is a really easy to keep playing as far as how long it takes you. You can pour as much or little time as you want. You can get on. Matchmaking is instantaneous. It gives you 90 seconds before it like boots you and reboots, but it's never that long. It's probably like 10 to 15 seconds to find a match.
Fast.
Very fast. And then after a match is done, it immediately puts you back in, or all you have to do is hold the A button and it immediately does a rematch.
Yeah.
Just loops you back into it. And so every like 10, 15 seconds, you can restart a match. You lose immediately and just restart. Like it's just pretty instantaneous. So I would say it's for anyone, for any length of casual. It's a casual game, of course, but it can be competitive also if you want to grind hours out just playing intense Mario. And this would make you very good at Mario, I think, because
Yeah, no
it is
kidding.
so intense. The game is very difficult. I will say although this is Super Mario Bros. And if you're like me, I can run through Super Mario Bros. In probably 3 hours, I want to say. I'm not the best, but like 2 or 3 hours. It's a pretty short game, really, really short. This is much harder than that, though. Like even level 1 is very difficult, and you're much more cautious of what's going on. At the same time, you're trying to beat everyone else to the last, to the farthest possible level, and all these other things going on. So, but again, none of that's like confusing at any point. It's not like too Japanese that you're like, nope, like this is too much. It's actually pretty attainable. It's just really intense Mario. So yes, it is pretty difficult. It scales. So again, you can do level 1 over and over again and just beat like a bunch of noobs and like be the top noob if you want and forever. And I'm probably going to be top
noobs.
King of the noobs. I'm going to be trying to be King of the noobs for a while until I'm getting better. So that's the whole point, right? I would not only, so the sequel here I'm going to apply to, I would love it if it became a permanent staple game. Since the sequel is probably not a thing with this kind of thing. I would love for what I just said to happen. And then overall rating and impression, I give this a 9.9. Honestly, this is a really amazing game. Overall, if I'm just going to spit out a number here, I think that there's nothing wrong with this game in literally any way, unless you just dislike old graphics. And I think that's all objective anyway. Maybe a 9.8 because the 2.2 points would be the co-op. And I think that it doesn't hurt the game in any slight way by it not being in there. So I almost want to just give it a fucking perfect rating because this is a really, really amazing game, and a really amazing idea. It's super ingenious. Nintendo keep doing this for Zelda, everything.
That's amazing. I feel like when we talked about when they announced this, you were like, like
I don't know if I said
this game.
I was like, I don't know. Yeah,
like,
I was
battle royales are dumb. I'm never gonna play that.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, I
Nintendo spin though, they always come in and they put their own spin on it.
And I think they saw that Tetris 99 had potential, but just didn't grasp the Nintendo crowd thoroughly. And this, even though Super Mario Bros. The first is not my favorite Mario Bros. Game, this has literally reignited my want to play the shit out of this. I have no idea how to explain it, but the Battle Royale essence really adds that competitive feel. And even if you don't win all the time, you still level up and you rank up into these harder levels. And you can just try your hand at harder difficulties, and just like get better and better and better. Really, really amazing. Yeah. And again, the only reason it is not a perfect score is for the oversight that it is not initially co-op squads, anything like that, where you're just on a team in some way. And I know there's a way to do it. So it's kind of like just why not thing. If they patch that in, I'll give it a perfect score. This game is really fucking worth it. It's free. So I'm just saying this is a free game as well. So there's really no reason not to get this game in any way. And if you don't like it, I don't even know who you are. Is this game worth buying? Yeah, it's free. So, and then, that's my review. Yeah, I'll give it an almost perfect score. I really highly recommend this if you are a Mario fan anyway. It will push and reignite your interest in the old school varietals of Mario.
That's
and
awesome.
You don't necessarily need to like online gaming or battle royales at all to like this. It will pique your interest in that way as well.
That's
So.
fantastic. It makes me actually want to try it. You know,
I highly
you
recommend
should.
it. Download it right now.
Yeah.
It took 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's really fast.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yep, you load right in, you know.
you load right in.
That is incredible. Yeah, I mean that's another problem with a lot of these styles of games is like queue times, you know.
Oh yeah,
Especially
and-
since there's so many battle royales now,
yeah.
like, you know, some of them kind of lose their luster for a lot of people and it might be your favorite one and you get in, no one's playing, it's hard to find a lobby,
Yeah.
things like that. I feel like honestly, I feel like the genre that suffers the most from that is the asymmetrical games.
Oh yeah, asymmetrical is dookie.
But yeah, I mean, it definitely can be a problem with battle royale. So that's cool that
It's
you know the
awesome.
matchmaking is so on point. That's
Yeah,
fantastic. We do have a topic. I just kind of scrambled together. We've been talking a lot about a particular game. None of us have played it yet, but we're all extremely curious about this. Here's let me give the first part of the question, and then we'll do the follow-up question, which kind of reveals what game I'm talking about here.
yep. Let's do it.
Can free-to-play games be done right?
I mean, didn't I just answer that?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of did. Now, when we're
because
talking about
also-
free-to-play games, we're kind of more talking about like, you know, some of the
Pay-to-play.
more, yeah, like pay-to-play games kind of thing. We say free-to-play, but it's generally
I
pay-to-play,
see what you're
like
saying now.
mobile-style games, things like that. The reason we brought this up, or the reason I brought this up, is because a game called Genshin Impact just released this previous week.
So we're gonna
Um,
take off things that require just a subscription to get, because that, you know what I mean. We're talking more about things like
Back.
Yeah, like actual like free to play.
Yeah, okay,
like you could just
gotcha.
download it on anything.
Okay.
Oh, Colin's gone.
Damn it, he played this too.
I don't know if he played it, but he's very excited about it. So the reason I brought up Genshin Impact in particular was because this seems to be, you know, doing the whole free to play thing right, according to a lot of people. And that's the second half of the question: is Genshin Impact the holy grail of gacha style games?
Mhm.
Right? That you know, loot boxy kind of like you have to pay to get gear and things like that. Allegedly, and I haven't played it yet, so it's hard for me to 100% speak to it other than just what I've been hearing from, you know, different content creators and my friends that have played it and things like that, is that this game very much is one of those gacha style games.
Okay.
But you don't have to participate in that aspect of the game. It's
Can you still
basically
unlock those things?
you can unlock just about everything in the game just by playing.
That's amazing. That's all I ever wanted.
Yeah, and it's very like it doesn't like level gate you or any of that kind of stuff
What? This
to
is
where
amazing.
you don't have to like, you know, as some free to play games, like let's say
Fortnite.
Fortnite is really all cosmetic, right? So
Yeah, there's no
True.
pay to win.
so there's no pay to win. But what's that looter shooter that's what's it called?
So good.
Where you're like
WoW?
space ninjas.
Space Ninjas.
What is that called? It's
My
slipping my
favorite?
mind right now.
Yeah, mine
Destiny.
too.
Remember Destiny?
No, Destiny is
He forgot
definitely
his
not
little
pay to win,
game.
but it's kind of a competitor to Destiny.
Isn't it Space Ninjas your favorite?
Can't even think of the name. It's a very popular game though.
It's
Anyway,
very popular.
regardless.
Space Ninjas. I'm gonna type that in. Space
Yeah,
Ninjas.
dude. Here, I'll just look it up.
Space
Yeah.
Ninjas in
Looter,
Space, the second.
Shooter.
It's a Hooters shooter.
Warframe.
Yes, Warframe.
Oh my god, how'd you forget that?
Dude, because my brain doesn't work on Sundays. I'm tired.
I literally typed in Space Ninjas looter shooter, and the first thing came up was Warframe.
Exactly.
Greatest
Wow,
Space
that's amazing.
Ninja.
That's it. So Warframe is free to play, and for a lot of people, they would say it's a pretty friendly game like that. Like it's not like you don't have to pay to win. But the problem is the gear in that game takes 1,000 years to freaking unlock the stuff that you need to, or that you're trying to grind for. It's just like so incredibly grindy. This game allegedly is not that way. Like it's very obtainable to get the things that you want. Now, there are there are like those gotcha mechanics, right? So you can buy loot boxes to get weapons and armor and new characters.
Is it pay to win though? Like, can you buy better weapons, or is it everything equal and it's all the weapons are aesthetic?
I don't know. I think there are better weapons, but yeah. So technically, it could be pay to win. Yeah, I don't love that either. But from what I understand, everything's still very obtainable without.
Okay, and to be clear, this is a battle royale?
No, it's not a battle royale. It's it's like a Breath of the Wild like. So
this is just an adventure game?
Yeah, it's a online adventure game that you can play cooperatively, cross-platform on every platform except for Switch right now, but the Switch version is coming next year.
Wasn't that good, though.
Oh, next year?
I heard co-op had some issues.
Yeah, and it might do that in the beginning. Like, so that's something that they can always work out. Yeah, I believe it's on Steam.
Wow, I'm getting
Genshin Impact. So the developers specifically cited Breath of the Wild as their inspiration for this game. And if you look at it, it looks very Breath of the Wild-y. But it does some really cool things that Breath of the Wild doesn't, like freaking the durability system doesn't
I was
exist.
hoping my weapons would break in 5 seconds, though.
Yeah, this weapon that I paid for just broke. I would.
It's not the dumbest shit on earth. I'm not seeing how you spell this shit.
Genshin Impact. It's GENSHIN.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you here. It's not on Steam.
I don't know. I don't know what it's on. Maybe it's on.
Fuck.
Here. What is Genshin Impact available on?
Yeah, that's an important one.
That was available on the. It says Microsoft Windows, so maybe the Windows Store or I don't know. I don't know where you get it.
It's on Epic.
No. Yeah, it might be Epic. I don't know. Google Play. It's on mobile. You can play it on mobile. Anyway, the essence of this question is, like, did they do it right? Is that the way to do free to play?
I think I would have to play and see if it's to win with the loot boxes or not.
Yeah.
The issue though.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Well, I was just asking, like, do you guys have like a better idea for how to do a free to play game that is not exploitative? But still, the company can make money on it, that, you can play it, you can enjoy it as a consumer. Honestly, like, from what I hear, and again, I have not played this yet, I'm very interested, but from what I hear, this is like the holy grail of free-to-play games.
A cool idea for a game would be to have like an actual full fleshed out one-player mode and everything like amazing in it, and like the game is full and you get everything out of it. And it could even be like online in some way, but then like for the multiplayer mode or maybe the competitive mode be like the paid one, or like there's a whole mode that you just pay for but still getting the entire game otherwise. I don't really know if there's a better way though. That's just like an idea I had. So like everyone gets everything kind of, unless there's just like a mode they can kind of withhold. Usually it's people want the competitive one. That's the one people will pay for, like the battle royale, like the true like whatever. I don't even know. It's an adventure game. So what the fuck can you do online? Just like feed each other sheep or some shit?
I guess so. I think you just get the game from the website.
That's the weirdest shit ever.
Yeah, you just
like copy paste it into my.
You just register there and download. I think. That's what it looks like. There's the link right there.
Where?
I put it in chat if you want to check that out. But yeah. What about you, Colin? What do you think about free-to-play games? Like, is this the model? Did they do it? Did they pull it off?
I have no idea. I haven't really played this yet, so I don't know.
I think I have to play this.
It sounds pretty cool in terms of like the model they use. Like, I was actually listening to a conversation today about this game this morning in another Discord I'm in, and they said things like, you can buy stuff, but you don't have to. And it sounds like a lot of it's just about like cosmetics and whatnot, stuff that wouldn't inherently impact the game, and you can grind for just about anything except for extra 3D models like that, I think.
Yeah, well, I think there's some characters that you can't get in the game.
Yeah.
And characters also do have their own attributes from what I hear. So that might be where like the catch is, right? Like,
I wouldn't say this looks better than Breath of the Wild, honestly. but it does look really good.
I think almost any game is better than Breath of the Wild. at this point.
Looks better. Like
I think that
visibly.
graphically it looks the same as Breath of the
I don't
Wild.
know if it does. It's a little more anime style than Zelda.
Yeah, the characters are like waifus.
And then the world
know?
looks a little more 3D model-y than Zelda did. Like next to an epic fantasy adventure here on the website, it's like it kind of looks a little 3D model-y on the landscape, whereas Breath of the Wild looks a little more painted to me.
Pull up some gameplay. Actually, I can pull up some gameplay and put it in the background.
I really want to play this.
Let us see here.
What's MiHoYo Studios?
I don't know. Is that the people who made it? 7 months ago. Jesus. Let's get something recent.
It looks okay. I don't love the people. This looks the same to me as like Nino Kuni and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, this doesn't look as good as Breath. The people, in my opinion.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't really care how the game looks. I care how the game. I care how the game plays.
This game, this looks like Final Fantasy meets Breath. Even like it looks so fantastical.
Yeah, I think Breath looks pretty fucking fantastical. Don't get me wrong. I think Breath of the Wild is a gorgeous game, but I think that's all that game has going for it. The more I play Breath of the Wild, the more I hate that game.
I guess I'm not defending it too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Defend it to the death here.
Yeah, and this game's got very pleasant visuals. I mean,
I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying, like, I don't know if people should be saying like it looks like strictly better than Breath.
I don't think they're saying it looks better than Breath, like as in graphics. I'm saying, to me, it looks like a better game.
That's very fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
So
fly around instead of climbing.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Let's see what happens.
What would you guys say would be your, or I think you kind of gave your answer, Josh,
Colin's
but like,
turn.
Colin, what would you say like your ideal free to play game would be?
Well, it's just like cosmetics. I think it's the best way. Skins, basically, and no actual impact on
gameplay.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that's the formula, really, when it boils down to it. Like, and I think people have done that. You know, I think there's like battle royale games in particular do that all the time. You know, that's like the main model for battle royale games is like the cosmetics, and the game itself is free. So, I mean, I guess we're there. I guess we cracked the code.
It sounds like it. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah. Well, we should check this game out. I've heard a lot of good things.
In my opinion, DLC should only be cosmetic too. Like everything in the game should be in it, and then just like get whatever, you know, like how you can play as Wolf Link and shit like that in Breath of the Wild in the DLC.
Yeah.
You should have to pay for that, but you should have to pay for more story. That's all I'm saying.
Sure. Okay. I kind of I don't
mind DLC. That's different. That's a whole other
so
part of the game.
yeah, we're getting in a can of worms here. Let me break this one out. I think like the old model of DLC, like how Diablo 2 did it, is totally justified, right? You've got this fully fleshed out game that you've played through for a few years, and then that studio spends a lot of fucking time and a lot of effort and a lot of money developing a really badass expansion for the game.
Yes.
And then you play that and it really enhances the game. It's definitely worth paying for. Okay.
Yeah.
Now the kind of darker side of that would be game company makes a full game and then breaks it into pieces and then sells you the rest of the game later. That I feel like is bullshit. And we have seen examples of that.
Yeah.
You know?
Lots. Yeah.
So, you know, one could argue that that's what happened with Destiny 1.
One could argue. Who's arguing against that?
Well, that's a really complicated situation, and a lot of that had to do with Activision and like them doing reboots like of the game before it ever came out and things like that. So it's complicated, but there's definitely the argument there that that's how that rolled out, and there has been other games that have done the exact same thing, and I think that's pretty egregious, you know. But like the idea of like them giving you a fully fleshed out game and then going back to the drawing board and working on expansions for it later, and then releasing those at a premium, I think is totally fine. You know,
I agree.
That's how I feel about it. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell sometimes. Like, you never know when you buy a game if they're giving you the full game. That's part of like one of those uncomfortable realities that we have now with gaming and with the whole online world. Back in the day, before like the internet became involved with gaming, you just bought your cartridge and that was it. That was the whole game, you know?
Right.
Like, so, you know, it's hard to say now, but you know, hopefully game companies will be, you know, aware of that and deliver a product that's worth the price tag.
I'm not worried about Nintendo, but the rest, you know.
Nintendo kind of did that with Breath of the Wild. They hella did that with Breath of the Wild. They kind of did that with Pokemon, the latest Pokemon.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that. I think that they added some things that should have been in initially. Yes, there were some oversights, but I think the core of Sword and Shield was plenty. But
I do too, to a degree. But there's certainly things
nothing like Destiny. Come on, Destiny was like, "Here's a skeleton. We'll give you some meat later."
Yeah,
one lung at a time.
I don't know about that, but
I haven't played Destiny. I can't speak to that.
All right.
Destiny 1 had some issues at release, for sure.
But regardless, anyway, I don't know. Okay, maybe I'm a little more worried about Nintendo, but I feel like when they dip, they like come back strong. I don't know. I think Breath 2 is going to surprise us pleasantly.
I don't think so. I'm so worried about Breath 2, dude. I'm so like, the more I play Breath 1,
Origami King, they pulled through with the series that had the greatest chance of failure this year alone.
I know.
So this is my only saving grace is that Paper Mario, in my opinion, did so well that how could they fucking?
What if they're fucking up Zelda now? What if
here's the thing, man? I think they're so married to Breath of the Wild, like, and the way that game plays. You know, I think, like, here's what happened. Unfortunately, when that game came out, it had been so long since a Zelda game had come out. You had basically like a new generation of people playing Zelda that have never played a Zelda game before.
Exactly.
So they don't know what to expect,
That's
right?
why I hate
and they
people
get a game that is like, it's an objectively good game.
Yeah.
You know? But it doesn't really have the soul of a Zelda game.
Yeah,
if you
which
ask
is a
me
real
at
tangible
all.
thing. Yeah.
But a lot of the fan base, a lot of the new fan base that's playing it doesn't know that. They haven't played the old Zelda games. And so they get this game that, you know, it's a good game, you know, objectively. I hate it personally, but like, I can't say it's a bad game.
It's a 6.5 for me.
Yeah. So like, and they took that success that they got from that, and they're like, hey, this is what we're doing with Zelda now. And I think that's terrifying. Like, I think they're so married to the Breath of the Wild formula that that's what we're going to get from now on. And that really bothers me.
I do think Nintendo has hope in learning from their mistakes, though. Like, Miyamoto really likes to take a lot of creative like liberties and do different things in each game.
Which is fine and great.
It's fine. I think he knows when he's hurting the series, though. I mean, I thought... but I mean, so like, for instance, I would be almost certain that we are getting another Paper Mario game on a home console again in the next 5 years, and it will not have this same battle system. I would be certain of that now they think Paper Mario is alive again, and this is just an example, and that they learned that the battle system was what was the weak point of the game. I'm not certain that they did that with Breath 2, but I am certain that they realized the world was too big for replayability, and they started doing the more dungeony aspects. They were getting the underground areas. They clearly didn't learn too much from the weapon durability. They apparently thought a lot of people liked that,
and that's the biggest problem. But
they are adding legendary weapons, and maybe there's like potions.
Are they? Is that confirmed? Is that confirmed from an official?
They promised
an official leak that promised us Nintendo would give us a baby for Christmas. No, but seriously, no. Did you also hear Mario Odyssey 6 is coming? Just kidding. Nothing's happening. We're fucked. No.
There's rumors that that Mario Galaxy 2 is going to be DLC for 3D All Stars.
I don't see why anything couldn't be DLC for that.
Yeah.
Shit myself.
We'll see.
What I think is more likely, and I'm honestly gonna get shit on for this one. What is it? October? It's October, right? There's still going to be another announcement this year, is my prediction. I think Nintendo is still going to announce one big title before the end of 2020. I think something else will release before the end of this year. And worst case, I think it releases in the beginning of January. But I think something else is getting announced. It's all been remakes. It's all been like Hyrule Warriors 2. Like, Paper Mario was earlier this year. That's not really the big title, the wow factor. And I know COVID is a thing, but Nintendo isn't stupid also. And they know how to trump everyone. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that there is one more thing coming. That's just my prediction. And I don't know what it is, but there's been
They're
a lot.
gonna have to announce it soon and
They
then
did
just
another
drop
mini-
it.
Yeah,
So
they're gonna
this
have
is
to
what
start-
I could see. This is I could
Hey,
see
faster.
one of two things happening. I could see them announcing something like literally next week and then having it like release right around the time
November.
of
Usually the
yeah,
big launch
of
month,
the new console launches, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or like what the Xbox is coming out on November 10th and the PlayStation is coming out on November 12th. Let's say November 5th they do a surprise like direct and they're like, "Hey, this is out November 9th or November 8th." But I honestly like I think that could be the strategy, but like I think that's such a pipe dream right now.
There's been more and more. There was another mini direct that we didn't see coming. We didn't even talk about it. There was another one in the last few weeks after the last.
Shit! I
two in
forgot
a
to
row.
add that to the. Oh no, I added it. I added it.
Oh, we did.
It's
So
in
that
our
was like
news.
last
It's in our
week,
news.
and no one saw that coming.
Yeah, no, they did.
end
People
here
have
on
been
a-
talking about it. We didn't bring it up on the podcast mostly because I don't give a fuck about Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah, we didn't
but,
talk about the crossover potential.
But and we'll talk about that in a minute. Actually, let's actually like this is a good pivot point for the news. So we'll do the news real quick. But like there was a direct mini, very mini. It was very short this week for Smash Brothers, and there was a lot of rumors around this. Again, I didn't really highlight these rumors because I don't care about Smash Brothers, but
Not to anymore. Yeah.
but anyway, so here's the news. Smash, they had a surprise direct, 2 days ago?
2 days.
And they announced the new Smash Brothers characters, which happen to be the characters from Minecraft.
Not one, but four.
Four characters from Minecraft.
All alternate arts, I assume, of each other or skins, whatever.
No, I think they all have different play styles, don't they?
Are they all 4 different characters? That'd be
I
crazy.
think it's legit 4 different characters.
That's mental.
I could be wrong about that. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I think it's 4 different characters.
We get fact check.
I don't know Minecraft well enough. I didn't write down the names. I know one of them, Steve.
Yeah.
Steve, Zombie,
the dark
Flecker,
scary guy. What is
Dark
it?
Melter,
Is that what it's
Dark
called?
Melter, that's his name. Yeah.
I don't know.
And
ask
then-
me
And then one other one.
You would know.
Other Steve.
It was
Oh,
like
there's Steve.
John.
So while this doesn't excite me at all in
Nope.
the regards of like Smash Brothers, because again, to reiterate, don't give a fuck about that game. I also don't give a fuck about Minecraft. The one thing about this that I think is extremely positive is this highlights a growing relationship between Microsoft and Nintendo, which I
Agreed.
think is a really big deal. So especially since Microsoft seems to be like, even though they're coming out with new hardware this year, I really think that they're moving away from the hardware chase, the hardware side of video games, and moving more into like the
Software.
service and software side of
I agree.
video games.
This is the year they realize that people want to be taken care of.
Yeah. So I think with them continuing to grow that relationship and nurture that relationship with Nintendo is a really smart move, especially
Very
since their
smart.
install base in Japan is real low. But that being said, they're the fastest growing install base right now in Japan because of the moves that they're making. So, I mean, I think that's all good.
That's
You know?
amazing. I think it's very smart. I think it makes them look much more family friendly to do kind of stuff like this. To have their IP on a Nintendo console
Mhm.
just makes them seem like not only friends with Nintendo, but they're pretty like if PlayStation is like M-rated gaming, Xbox is like T to M-rated gaming generally, and then Nintendo is E-rated gaming generally.
Yeah,
so we're
E to T.
talking about frames, yeah. So this kind of brings Xbox into the E range a little, where it seems a little more cuddly to the audience and moms and dads and shit.
Now,
and
how
I
about
think
this?
This is huge for marketing.
With this growing relationship, here's the thing. We've talked about like the Nintendo Mini systems a lot before, right? I love them too. The Super Nintendo Mini is so awesome. My brother got me one for my birthday last year. It's freaking rad. I want that too, real bad.
Not like the original Mini, but like a Mini with all the games on it.
Yeah. But check this. So a lot of people have speculated that the big reason there hasn't been a Nintendo 64 Mini is because most of like the big games on Nintendo 64, other than like Mario and shit, are Rareware titles. Guess who owns Rareware?
Microsoft. My God, I just realized what could happen now. Holy wait, I just
see where I'm going with this?
For a relationship. No. Okay, Colin, come on, let me God damn you.
Do we have to spell it out? Do I gotta get into the live notes right now and type it up?
I'm too excited not to spell this out right now. And yet, this literally means that I'm only realizing it now with you guys right here that Xbox has the potential to reunite Rareware with Nintendo in their joined relationship. This would allow new IPs for Donkey Kong, Star Fox done correctly. Literally old
Nintendo 64 Mini.
There'd be Nintendo 64 Mini would be allowed to do Donkey Kong 64, Star Fox 64, and all these other games that are restricted, Perfect Dark and stuff. But not only that, holy shit, this could open insane like cooperative software options like Banjo 3 and stuff like that. Oh my God, this could really do like Konami Elements of Power like remake or what's the one Beyond Good and Evil 2? Wasn't that an Xbox thing? Oh my God, we could get all this stuff very easily. I think now I'm drooling over this possibility. Yeah. Diddy Kong Racing 2 and all that. Like, give me all of it.
Now, I think it's still a little early to like really like kind of. Well, I wouldn't say hope for those things. I think hoping for those things is fine, but like really get super hyped for those things to happen. I think it's very early for that. But to continue to see that growing relationship with Microsoft, I think it really opens up the possibilities for those things.
In like 2 years, we could have Diddy Kong Racing online.
Yo, how rad would that be?
I would cry.
Yeah,
I would actually cry.
That'd be incredible. But I don't know. Maybe.
Why not?
I just don't see it happening.
Why not? This is how it happens.
This is how it happens.
They get licensing from Rare because they're buddies again. Rare is just Microsoft. Rare is Microsoft now. It's not.
You're right.
I don't know how many people on the original developing team are left, but
I don't know that there's necessarily a lot. And right now, Rare's making games like, Sea of Thieves, which, to be fair, in its own right is a pretty rad game, but it's nothing like classic Rare. It's not like
What is Yooka-Laylee's developing company? Who are those people? What do they rename themselves? Are they completely independent, or are they owned by Microsoft and a subsidiary of Rare?
I think they're completely independent.
Because how cool would it be if they got reabsorbed by Rare and then they were like, let's do business like we used to, baby. And they like all the old people from Banjo-Kazooie and everyone. Because I'm not sure how many people from the original software teams are left. Like, because a lot of people did, like we're saying, left to do their Yooka-Laylee project and a few independent projects because they're like, we want to be like Rare used to be. And they like wiped their ass by accident and just like filmed it. That's Yooka-Laylee. But
apparently people like that game. And I just
favorite game, actually.
I can't get over that.
I can't get over how good
Colin's
it is.
favorite game.
Yeah, he loves it.
He's told us many times how much he loves that game.
Yeah, it's quoted here. Quote it.
Yep. Dude, he hits me up in like PMs in Discord, and he's like, "Hey, man,
I can't stop
thinking about Yooka-Laylee. I just had to tell somebody. It's been in my dreams."
How big and he left.
Did he leave the session?
Yeah, he left completely.
Well, that's the show, guys. Just kidding. No. We have a couple more. We have a couple more news items. I'm sure he'll join back when his joke is over.
We're sorry. When
So
the joke is over.
yeah. Anyway, so more Nintendo news. Get this, and I'm glad. Well, I'm not super glad Colin left for this because I think he really cares about emulation and like homebrew kind of stuff. He's back. He's back. So the next bit of news is Nintendo Switch modders have been arrested.
Oh wow, Colin, watch
And
out.
dude, the processing for a lot of this was quick. So like they kind of they made an example of a company called Uber Chips, and this company settled with Nintendo, and they're a company that provides like modding solutions for the Nintendo Switch. They came to an agreement with Nintendo to basically surrender their URL to Nintendo, as well as pay $2 million in restitution.
Wow, they're gonna use their licensing watch to like.
They might, yeah. I mean, like
that's insane.
Probably for security to prevent Nintendo Switch hacking.
Well, these hackers were all about for profit, so they're specifically making an example of for profit people. Like
that's
because
true, but
they were literally eating up their like. It's basically like if you hire or if you buy whatever we're selling, we'll give you access to a free online library that gives you access to all the games.
Sure,
that's what it was.
Yes, and they're making an example of these people, but that's not the first time Nintendo's done something like this with for-profit companies like emulation websites, Emu Paradise, places like that are just providing emulators and games. So
well, that to me is emulation in game. That's the exact thing they were doing. They were providing a service or like a library, basically.
But they're not selling them.
Well, they're making money though because of the advertisement they had on there.
Sure, yeah.
They're making money. Like
that's true. That's true. Anyway, the point is that this is a very big like line in the sand that Nintendo's drawing. Like, don't fuck with our software, and our hardware. So. I kind of have a mixed view on stuff like this. I think that it's getting better, but like game preservation in general isn't the best. And I think emulation is the best hope for game preservation.
I agree.
And if we want to be able to preserve parts of history, like gaming history, like emulation needs to stay in the realm of possibilities for these games.
Even Super Mario 3D All-Stars remake is going to be a relic someday, and the cartridge will like wither away. You know what I mean? So like all these games, like the best bet is to literally just have them on your computer, like constantly just like keep moving them to a new computer or whatever.
Right. Yeah. So
games that's like turn to dust.
They will. Yeah. I mean, nothing lasts forever, and so like. I think that conversation needs to be had. And I think that's one thing that like the gaming industry in particular, like especially like the big three like Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo kind of ignore that. Yeah, I would say Microsoft probably does the best at it with providing backwards compatibility.
Everything's online, yeah.
Yeah, but the other companies, Nintendo does some things, like the Nintendo Online stuff is cool, but like there's so many things that fall through the cracks. So I don't know. I think it's just a slippery slope. But yes, these guys were doing something pretty egregious. So they're making a example of them. The next bit, kind of throwaway topics. We'll just get through them real quick and end the show. So Insomniac changed Spider-Man's face for the upcoming enhanced edition of the Spider-Man game for next-gen consoles.
Wait, why? What's wrong with his face?
I don't know. I think they were trying to make him look like more like Tom Holland, which he kind of does. He's the dude who plays him in the movies, right? But like, why? Like, they established the character in the game
for Disney reasons. They want to like, I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. It just seems like a really strange move. Like, yeah, why not just keep it?
They might be setting it up for like a big Marvel intertwining, and that's why they need everyone to look like the actors potentially. I'm not sure, for like likeness reasons because of relating to the movies. I'm not really sure on that one. That's my best guess, is like for legal reasons in a way. I'm not really sure.
It's just kind of a weird move.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird move.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know why they would do that. Stupid. Seems dumb.
Yeah, then the final bit of news that we have, Crash 4, It's About Time,
We're ready.
released this week, and it's out on PS4 and Xbox One, and it's reviewing really well. I know we
That's
got
awesome.
We'll get
a
someone
lot
on
of Crash fans out there, so that's probably worth checking out.
Which of us is likely to play that? Probably you, Paul, because you like playing stuff on PS4.
That's true.
Maybe.
Paul.
I don't know. I'm not really like a huge Crash Bandicoot fan. The thing is, my girlfriend is. I mean, my wife is.
A girlfriend. What?
My wife. My wife.
Which one?
She's a very
one?
big Crash Bandicoot fan. The only one.
Oh.
She's a huge Crash fan. So I might actually get that for her, you know. So we'll see. But yeah, I hear it's really good. I know that RPD is a really big Crash Bandicoot fan as well. So yeah, that's about it. That's all we got for the week, guys. Do you guys have anything?
Nope.
I'm gonna go eat food.
What were the commands that Faye set up last week? I don't even
I have no
remember.
idea.
Probably a self-sabotage button.
I don't,
That sounds like her.
I can't hold. Actually, let me pull them up. I have them. Beep, 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 beep. That's the sound I make when I compute things in my head.
Beep,
All
boop.
right, here we go. Oh, sweet. Here we go. Boom. There's all where you can find us, guys. Are the YouTube links there.
See, it is.
You're on my my Twitch channel right now if you're watching us live. But if you want to check out previous episodes, or if you missed part of the podcast and you want to catch up, I post that to YouTube. So there's the link. You can find me on Twitter at Ryugami Sama. Our Twitch handles are in there, and yeah, that's about it. Here, well, we don't need to throw up this. Actually, let's do it. Hold on. Socials. Josh, where can we find you, man?
Find me at Lord Yeshua on Twitch and Lord Yeshua TTV on all my socials, and I do absolutely nothing most of the time, but it's okay. No, I'm pretty busy, but see a lot of retro streaming and a lot of other fun stuff about my life. Hi there, it's me. See you guys. Wait, oh.
Bye forever.
Colin, where can we find you, Dean?
Twitch.tv/Borges.
Excellent. Is there someone we can raid?
Probably Mindari.
We barely have the threshold to actually count a raid now.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's some
Everyone's
BS,
really mad about
man.
that.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
There's a threshold? Was it 3 people?
It's 5, I think.
It's 5. 5, yeah.
And you have to have 5 people to raid? That's so...
No, I think you can
restrictive.
you can change your settings to allow for your notification settings to allow for fewer people, I think. But still, like, that's such a shithead move for small streamers.
Yeah, that's not great for small streamers.
It's really bad for small streamers.
I don't like that. It's only a negative. I don't see how it helps anyone. It's really stupid.
Yeah. Is Faye still streaming?
Yeah.
We can raid her.
Oh, he tried raiding, but I just hosted.
There we go. All right, stick around. We're gonna raid.
No, you
I'm an
fucked it up.
idiot. I totally
Run.
Dude. Oh my god. I'm bad at
Wow.
Twitch. This is why they're like, fuck small streamers. They don't even know how to use our commands. All
That's
right,
funny.
here we go. We're raiding Mendari. Everyone stick around. We'll see you guys. Have a great night. Love you.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Woohoo. Thanks for watching. All right, I gotta order Chinese food.